Hey, I want to share this with you because it really encouraged me. And it's 2 Timothy 2:8, part of this devotion I'm doing right now, which is constantly keep in mind Jesus Christ, the Messiah, as risen from the dead. Keep in your mind that Christ has risen from the dead. This is the key to holding on to the blessings of God. When pressure comes, when troubles and trials are bearing down on you, remember Jesus Christ risen from the dead. Remember that when Jesus arose, you arose. Oh my gosh. When he came out of hell and defeated the enemy, you came out of hell and defeated the enemy. His victory is your victory because you're in him. And I posted to my stories recently that it's been a crazy year. A lot of good stuff, but a lot of crazy stuff. Like, just felt like we're getting hit by wave after wave after wave. But I want you to keep that victory in front of your mind. The mind is so powerful. And where our thoughts go, our actions go. And if our thoughts start to go into a dark place, our actions can go down there and we can feel paralyzed and depressed and anxiety and then we don't do anything. And I thank God, even when I get anxiety, Manifest gets anxiety or gets discouraged sometimes. Yeah, I get that. You're not alone. But I never stay there long. Like, I always keep moving. I remember my pastor Brennan said, it's easier to move a ship steer a ship that's moving than one that's just standing still. And this is a devotion I'm reading on kcm.org. It says, in the hard places, remember that. When the devil tells you you're not going to get your answer this time, remember that. When he tells you there's no way out, remember Christ, the anointed one, the victorious conqueror, risen from the dead and seated at the right hand of the Father. If there's an image Satan hates more than any other, it must be that image of Jesus rising from the dead, stripping him forever of his authority and openly displaying his defeat to all of heaven and hell. And the devil hates it when you get back up. He's like, no, I hope she stays down. I hope he stays down. But when you get back up and he realizes you're just relentless, you're unstoppable, you are more than a conqueror. You need to remember that, not more than a conqueror, like, oh, we're more than conquerors singing in church. It's easy to sing that when you're in church, but what about when I haven't been to church in over a year? And this is what I always like. I'm like a pretty outgoing guy on stage, but I'm more laid back, subdued. Like in person, I'm pretty chill, right? But I don't care about the hand raising with everybody else is cheering you on. It's when you're alone, when you're discouraged, when it's not working, where you got to remind yourself you're more than a conqueror. Think about yourself winning until it's etched into your heart so deeply that nothing Satan says or does can get you out of it. That's when the gifts of God will be established in your life. That's when the devil won't be able to talk you out of your inheritance with trials and tribulations. Okay, because we have an inheritance with God, whether you're a believer or not. If you don't know Jesus, ask him to be a part of your life. God has changed my life, given me, so much encouragement, knowing that God is bigger than my problems. It's not how big your problems are, it's how big your God is. Well, my God created the mountains. He flung the stars into the sky, created the sun, and all these amazing things. Keep in mind Jesus Christ risen from the dead. And remember, if Christ can rise up from the tomb, you can rise up from whatever you're going through. You're not alone. I'm with you. This is this whole fighter thing that I'm talking about because it's real. You're probably going through some crazy stuff right now, crazier than anything I even went through. And I don't know your story. I don't know what you're going through, but I know your story's not done yet. Why? Because you're still here watching this video. So keep writing your story. Write through those pains. Go write a song about it. Go write a book about it. Go encourage someone, and just go help somebody. And watch as you help others, you yourself will be refreshed. I want to remind you that a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. Thank you so much for supporting my music and everything that we're doing over here. When you stream my music, when you watch my videos, when you leave comments, all that stuff, share it. It makes a difference to get this message out there to help more people. Peace out, y'all.